So I felt like, when you see an action movie, it's rare where you see like this level of honesty about what's it like to be a guy, just living a normal life. Your wife is earning more money than you are, and you are working at her dad's place and with her asshole brother. And, you take the bus every day and you feel like you are nobody. What does that do to your marriage? What does it do to how you feel about yourself? And I think in that way, I think it's just really smart. It really speaks to the experience of a lot of guys, and especially when viewed against the lens of masculinity and how, what pressure is being put on guys to be like all these, like you have to be rich, you have to be super successful, you have to be strong, you have to have a six-pack, you have to never be scared. And that is almost impossible. And so in this fantasy, here's a guy who actually is so much like the guys that, are at home watching. But they get this fantasy fulfillment of, oh, what if I wake up and I become that tiger that I really am inside, and I really just embrace my own power. In an action film, that means knowing how to do action, and then that, in fact, waking up and taking a look at yourself and stating, I'm not happy this way and I've had enough. Can that reignite your relationship? Yeah, I think we just both are just like very intuitive people, and he's a very intuitive guy in addition to being really fun. And I think we both just came from, experience, like life experience, and just being, relationships can be hard. And I think we just went for the truth of the moment, the truth of what was written into the scenes. And I think that really felt true, when we were doing the scenes as well. And it was really nice because, we were out in like normal houses, normal things. And you don't get to see that either very much in films, just like, what's it like to be Mr. and Mrs. Nobody? Somebody, and that's the majority of people in this world. And I just really liked being inside of that story, like normal people.
Yeah, it really felt like it was relatable. Everything about this movie is relatable. But one thing that really surprised me as a viewer is Bob transforming into this auditor. And I feel like you saw that being your character in the film. Were you surprised at how he transformed during shooting?
I was really sort of like, I was astounded by how he even had like just the bandwidth to be all that. He was producing, he was working out, he was shooting till all hours of the morning, shooting these in like a super freaking cold place. And as someone who is sensitive to cold, I totally could not understand how he was able to do that. And he did. He was just amazing. So I'd read about what Ilya had been doing before. And I was just kind of like, oh, that's so great. Like, you have a band, but you also make videos and you're doing action films. Like, that's pretty crazy. And then you meet him and he's just such an unassuming, relaxed guy, really just kind and make sure that everybody feels heard on the set, and just felt it was just a really pleasant experience to work with him. I think that anybody who likes to just see a well-crafted story and take you into that universe a little bit the way that John Wick does, where it kind of doesn't have, it's sort of like not reality, it's more sort of like a heightened reality. And more based on adventure and fantasy rather than, and at the same time has like the grittiness of what would normally be a realism, a kind of realism movie. So I think that anybody who just wants to just take a break from all of the stuff that's going on in your real life and just come and watch a fun ride, that's what this film is. it's just a fun ride, but it has moments of truth and depth to it that I think makes it even easier for you to just like meld in and live with the characters. I think like the first day we're on set, you know, we basically get to meet on the first day on set, and then I'm led from makeup and hair tests down to like the studio floor, which is kind of freezing and cold, in like a summer dress, and there is like a box on this cement floor with like a green screen backdrop. And then Bob comes along in his like Bahamas shorts and a t-shirt, and we're supposed to be doing like pictures of our whole story, like as if, you know, this is our love story. And it was like almost like indescribably absurd to be sitting in a sandbox and like smiling away as if we're having like 2 margaritas just out of sight. And that was our first day. Yeah.